Hey guys, Hannah here, the Life Purpose Queen, awakening you to living your dreams because it's all about building the dream life. Well, it's about awakening your life purpose, finding out what that is, clearing all the gunk away so that you are clear, and then working towards creating your dreams. So most people don't even know what their dreams are. They just know they want to help people or do this or do that, which is awesome because we are all here with a heart and we're all here to wake each other's hearts up. So yay, there's people joining live. Welcome. This is my new little space, yeah. I know I just jumped on and spoke about the angel numbers because everyone kept asking me about them, and now I am back talking about living the life of your dreams. Where do you even start when we awaken our dreams? Where do we even, how do we even start, right? Especially when we're working in a mainstream job. And there's obviously a zillion ways to do this. However, I'm going to speak specifically around how to do it as a single mum, building from nothing. Where do you even start? How do you even do it all? And how do you even cope, do it all? All of those questions, right? So when you jump on, say hi, let me know you're here. And as always, I'm just going to share this as well. So if this will let me just get started. Okay. Awesome. All right, who still works in a mainstream job? Who is I know there's something more and I'm ready to let's sort this out because I'm a little bit I'm tired of it, right? Let me know if that is any of you guys, right? If that resonates with you to be able to just create on your terms, yeah? And who even has a creative fire? Who has that burning desire to help others, create stuff in the world, do what you want to do, your passion, your purpose? Hey Meg, hey Aaron. Okay. All right, getting there. Let me jump back out of that. Okay. Okay, it's coming. They've got all this construction going on behind me, so it sounds like they just started up again. So relatable, yes. You know when you know when it's time as well, there might be some people watching this just, yeah, that all sounds great, but I'm not ready, and that's totally okay. But what I'm actually going to help you with on this live stream today, I'm being guided to do a bit of a training on this call, yeah? So get some pen and paper out. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that. So you can get some pen and paper out because this is really about, a lot of people want change and they're not really willing to do anything about it. Or maybe you are, but you're how would you even be able to move forward in anything? How can you let go of the security that you've got? Or maybe I don't feel confident enough. Maybe I don't even know what I'm supposed to do in the world. I'm totally I have no idea, right? So this is for you if you have no idea. This is also for you if you have a burning desire, passion, you're so clear, you're yeah, I need to do this, right? I'm gonna talk to both because both are got the same kind of process in a way, right? So how do we do this? So first of all, the number one step is, and this will depend on kind of where you're at in a way, right? From the UK. Thank you for belated birthday wishes. Thank you. Okay, so this will depend, this first little bit will depend a little bit where you are in the journey. So I might sound like I'm flicking in a way, but again, they both kind of lead into the same path, yeah? So talking to people who are very clear about what they want to do and, yes, I know what I want to do, my passion and my purpose, and maybe you're already teaching workshops or you're a yoga teacher or maybe you're something else, right? Or maybe you're just starting out or you're you've got this kind of interest in the spiritual stuff, or it doesn't even have to be the spiritual stuff. It could be something else that is calling your soul to do, but you're I'm too scared, or I'm not qualified enough, or I'm not, right? Hey, Lauren. So when we look at this space, right, it's really about getting clear on, number one, where you want to be in 5, 10, 20 years time. Now, a lot of people kind of don't really think that far ahead, and maybe because don't know how, don't know what to even do, like maybe just happy like doing your thing, and that's okay, right? But if you are sick and tired of being in the space of, you know, like just the same old monotonous, and you're like, you go to work, you want to change all the systems, or you're just like not happy there, but you know there's something else, like it's really about how do we even move from that position into the life of doing what we want when we want, right? So Kylie says, I've never worked. I've been a stay-at-home mom. I'm now at the point of finding my life purpose and what makes my soul sing. Yeah, awesome. Okay, awesome. Because the reality is, guys, is that my belief about life purpose and helping people find their life purpose is that every single person on this planet has a unique life purpose. We all have a life purpose blueprint. We all have a life purpose soul code DNA, right? It's all unique and individual. However, that unique and individual life purpose that every single soul has on this planet works in symbiotic nature with everyone else on the planet. So even though you might be doing the same thing, let's take cooking for example, okay? Because even though you've never worked, Kylie, I'm sure you've done lots of work, right? Around the house, raising your children, like all that sort of thing, yeah? Let's talk cooking. I'm going to use the cooking example, for example, right? I have people say to me, I want to write a recipe book, but there's lots of recipe books out there, so I'm not going to do it. There is a unique code, a unique vibration, a unique space within yourself of who you are, of your flavor, of your energy that you bring to your book, of your life story, of your upbringing, of you. And that unique energy that is you is what makes your book, your recipe book, your cooking book stand out to the rest. Now, not everybody's going to want your cooking book, but there will be a massive percentage of people in the world that will want your cooking book, right? So feel that at the moment as a collective. What about not knowing what we want, or like moving into the direction of our dreams? See if you can clarify that. I know I just said a ton of things and I know there's a bit of a delay. So when we look at our life purpose, we might be like, oh yeah, I'm passionate about this thing. And then you start doing it and you're like, but there's 50 other thousand people doing that same thing. And then you kind of like retract back and you're like, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my purpose is, right? Your purpose does involve your passion. I'll guarantee you that. Like it is something that you love. It's something that brings you alive. Like whatever you're passionate about talking about, like that's a big key factor. What do you do in your spare time? What do you do when you're not working? What do you do? Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's your like little like key, open the door like space. Yeah. Really important to take note on that. So number one, what brings you alive? What, you know, I'm sure there's a zillion people who have already heard that before, okay? The biggest thing is to remember is that your unique energy and brings that flavor. Like you have a unique gift. You have like, when we look at like every single person on the planet works in symbiosis with everyone. Like when everyone awakens, it's always symbiotic space, yeah, that the planet works in symbiotic nature. It's like there's like a zillion leaves on that tree, but they're all slightly different. They all have a unique thing, or maybe they're exactly the same, I don't know, but do you know what I mean? Like they all have a purpose on that tree. They all work in symbiotic nature, and then we go into other trees and the planet and the whole thing. Everything works in a symbiotic balance. So when you look at your life purpose and what is it that you're here to do and bring into the world, hey Dorothea, it is really about trusting that your unique blueprint and calling and what brings you alive is yours to bring to the planet. It is kind of like it is your duty to bring that to the planet, because if you don't, if you start comparing yourself and then you're like, oh well, there's other people doing that, so I do that because everyone else is already doing that. Like, you know, when you do that and you shrink back in, that's when you get depressed, that's when you start to get sick, that's when you start to get like all that stuff, right? And you start to like kind of retract back, and then you wonder why you're stuck and blocked, and do you know what I mean? I know my business idea, but don't know how to start it with no money to start it up. Okay, cool. Let me speak to that, yeah? Because as a single mum, starting with nothing, yeah, it is like, I know that space, yeah? And I've been able to build my online business into a space where it's starting to really take off now, right? Starting to have a lot more freedom than I've ever had before. So when we look at that, yeah, so it's kind of like number one, task one, step one, looking at your life purpose involves your passion at what brings you alive. That's what, you know, everyone's heard that before. It's like, yeah, follow your heart, follow your passion, like, and the money will follow. And it's kind of like, there's a bit of strategy to that. Yeah, there really is. Yeah, look at any millionaire or billionaire. They don't just have one income stream. Yeah, they have a lot. Okay, now with an online business, you can have a lot of income streams with that. Yeah, and of course, if you want to expand and go and become a billionaire, of course, like you might look at property investment or like, I don't know, there's a zillion ways to become a billionaire, right? So, single mum of 3, nearly finished my degree, which I also want to work in as well as my business. Yes, awesome. Okay, so awesome for being clear. Okay, so understanding your passion, what brings you alive. And then it's looking at exactly that. Yeah, if you are starting to get clear on what that is, it's looking at this next step around being able to, like, you know, like, am I wanting to work in person or am I wanting to work online? Now, you don't have to do one or the other, right? But I would find what you want to do, right? And this will come back to, okay, I'm sounding like I'm going all over the shop here because I kind of am. I'm like, these are steps, but these are intuitive steps that are coming through. Looking at your big picture, okay? Your purpose, your passion, that sort of thing. Now, even if you don't know what that is right now, the thing you do want to look at is, where do I want to be in 12 months' time, in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time? In 12 months' time, do I still want to be working in my same jobs, wishing that I'd, you know, changed something and started doing something? Like, you know how fast 12 months goes these days, right? Like, we're all like, oh my God, like, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, like, it's September, like right now. And it's nearly the end of September. And I saw Christmas decorations in the shop a few weeks ago. And I was like, wow, it's like September. Like, I'm pretty sure it was like the 1st of September or something, right? So we all know how fast 12 months goes. So you want to really, like, be really honest with yourself and look, do I want to be in this same position that I am this time next year? And if your answer is no, then it's looking at that 12-month goal, the 5-year goal, and the 10-year goal. Now, let me just speak to goals. I'm not saying that you need to set out a really clear plan, although being really clear is important. That's kind of another part of it. But it's kind of like really looking at, where do I want to be in 12 months' time? Where do I want to be in 5 years' time? Do I want to be doing my same job? Do I still want to be wishing that I'd started that thing or started that, right? Because the real, like, reality about it is that 12 months will go so quick and you'll be like, wish I'd done that thing. Why haven't I started already? Okay? So when we're looking at that, get clear about 12 months, about 5 years, about 10 years, like a rough estimate, like, where do you want to be living? Who do you want to be hanging around? What sort of person do you want to be? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want to be doing for work? How do you want to be feeling every day, waking up every day? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you want to be feeling waking up every day? Do you want to be waking up feeling the same way you're waking up now? Right? So when we're really looking at that, and I've just got my list to make sure that I'm covering everything, because this is like a bit of a training here, right? I really want to, like, help you guys with this. This is what came through really strong to do this. Like, where do you even start when building your dreams? When you're a single mom, like, you know, like, doing it all, and like, oh my God, how do I do it all financially? Like, the whole thing, okay? So when we look at that, you know, so you've got your passion alive, you know, getting really clear about where do you want to be in the 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, okay? Now, the next kind of step is, like, looking at what's really important, okay? Now, a really common factor, and that people say all the time, is I don't have enough time, right? It's either I don't have enough time or I don't have enough money. Now, the reality about those two things is that might be your reality right now. But if you continue to keep affirming those two statements, in 12 months' time, you will still be saying the same old thing, being in the same old position, with the same old space. And please know I'm saying this with so much love, okay? I'm saying this with so much love. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Cass. Okay, so by that I mean the combined purpose of us energetically. I'm seeing and feeling more clarity in the work I'm doing. Yes. And whom I meet that serves a higher purpose and the meaning of work and relationships. It might sound like, might not be in a relationship. The here and now, where the frustration I was feeling from work, that we're not feeling in alignment. Yes. Seemingly meaningless. Yes. The charity, we're setting up each role. Yeah, feeling the way as opposed to doing. Yeah. So, okay, so let me just, and I was meant to talk to that a bit. So, when you are still in a normal job, now that could mean even, this is going to sound a little bit bad, but stay with me for a minute. Like, I don't know, some people might have judgments about this. In a sense that, you know, like whether you're actually in a mainstream job or whether you're, so mainstream job or being a single mum, yeah, a single parent, okay? Regardless of which you're doing, they're still taking up your time, okay? Now, obviously we want to be with our kids and our family. I'm not saying don't do that stuff. What I'm saying is that when we look at actually what we're doing, the next thing that's awesome to get clear on is actually what we're doing, right? Where are we spending time? Where are we really looking at placing our time and energy? Because I guarantee you there are things that you can cut out. Now, I almost called this live stream, the thing, what you need to give up in order to create your dreams. I almost called it that, and I'm like, maybe people don't want to give up stuff because a lot of the time they don't. However, the people that really are clear about their 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, it becomes a priority about where you spend your time and energy. Okay, now the things that start to drop off when you're doing these things can kind of like, you'll probably find that you're already doing some of them anyway, right? If you're on this kind of personal development, awakening, spiritual path, or whatever you want to call it, you'll probably find that certain friends are starting to drop off. You hang around people and you're like, oh, I don't really want to be around these people anymore. Like, it's kind of the alignment's a little bit like, or, you know, like at your job, or, you know, like you're probably already feeling these things. Now, when you start working on building your dreams and looking at, you know, like the time factor, like how do you find the time to do this? How do you, you know, even do that? It's about being really conscious about where you are spending your time and energy. Now, there is a lot of things that have happened to me over the past 3 to 4 years building this online, and I can guarantee you that you will feel it in your heart and soul when there is a misalignment of where you're spending your time and energy. When you're starting to get really clear, you know where you want to be in like 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years time. When you've got that clarity of vision and you're like, cool, yeah, and you've kind of got this path, like, and you start to come really alive and you start to spend your time and energy doing these things, that when somebody invites you to something or you have to go to work or whatever, this feels like a big drag. It's like, ugh, I don't want to do it, right? And do you know what? It's okay to say no. It's okay to not spend as much time with friends and family in those moments, because at this time and energy space, what's happening is that it's not forever. It's just for a period of time. You know, like, you know, and you guys are probably already in that space, but it's kind of like, what are you willing to give up in order to put it into your dreams? Like, you know, like how much time are you spending scrolling Facebook when you should be working on your dreams? How much time are you spending watching Netflix or something else when you should be like spending, you know, working on your dreams? How much, you know what I mean? Like, there is always enough time in a day to do everything if you're conscious about where you're spending your time and energy. Now, the other part of that is like when we look at like, you know, not hanging out with certain people, sometimes it's really uncomfortable. Some people don't like it. Some people don't like that you're changing. Like, that's a normal part of the process, yeah? But it really comes down to looking at, well, if me spending, you know, if you could even look at it, right, in a timeline, you can like map out on a piece of paper, like map out your week. Like, if you're not sure and you're like, I don't know where to start. For me, I'm a really visual person, right? So what is good for me, and I've got a really big, I thought I had blank paper here, but I'll just turn this over. So what I love doing, like, is getting a big blank piece of paper and then literally writing, like, you know, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like literally like writing out the days, yeah? and writing down, what are you doing on these days? Where are you spending your time and energy? Like, if you don't know, this is a really awesome way to see exactly where you're spending your time and energy. You say you don't have enough time or energy, have a real look at where you're spending your time. What time are you going to bed? What time are you waking up? Who are you spending time with? You know what I mean? Like, of course, you've got your immediate family and you've got to take care of your house and all, you got to eat and all that sort of jazz. Of course. But where is the excess stuff that can be cut out so that you can spend that time and energy on your dreams? Yeah? Now, the other really important thing to then get clear about, okay, is there are things that, say, in 12 months' time, and then in 5 years' time. Let's fast forward to the 5 years' time. In 5 years' time, are you clear? Let's look at those goals actually. 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, okay? Let's talk about income for a second, okay? Let's talk about income. How much time, it feels like going a little bit off track, but this is so freaking important. If you guys are not doing this, oh my God, you need to be doing this. If you want to create the life of your dreams, you need to be clear about your money. Like, you need to be clear. If you are not clear on your income and your expenses, right, you need to be clear. Money tracking, a must. Okay, if you want to earn more money and you're not focusing on money and you're like, just what am I supposed to do over here? And all your money, like, you don't even look at it, you're not even sure what's going on. Like, if you're not focusing on money, remember, whatever we're focusing on, whether it's debt, whether it's payments, whether it's money, whether I've got money, it doesn't matter whether you've got it or not. If you're not looking at your money, you're not putting energy there. Of course, it's not going to turn up from unexpected sources, right? Now, some people get really triggered talking about money, but if you want to build the life of your dreams, you need to be clear on your money, yeah? Now, the thing is that I could talk about this for so long, and this is exactly what we delve into almost all the time in the Life Purpose Mentorship building business. Building our life purpose business is going deep into money and all the energetics behind it. But right now, to support this, of where do you even start with building your dreams, is that you must be clear on a couple of things. Okay, write these down. Income, expenses. Get clear on your current day reality of what you need each week and each month. Yeah, and of course you could take it to each year. Okay, that's what you need to survive. Yeah, to go to the next stage, right? It's like looking at, so you're really clear that, let's say you need $2,500 a week to cover all expenses. You need everything. Maybe it's $1,500. Maybe it's like, I don't know. Find out exactly what you need to cover absolutely everything. Food, hair, like everything. Yeah? Get so clear. Write it all down. Okay? That is everything you need to survive. That's your first bit. The next step you want to do is how much money you need each week, each month, each year to thrive. Yeah? How much money do you really want to spend on food each week compared to what you're allowed to or can in your budget, right? Perhaps you spend, I don't know, $200 a week on food. That kind of covers everyone in the household. But ultimately, you're kind of like compromising in your budget, and you're compromising in what you want to spend your money on to what you really want to do. Maybe you want to eat out 3 times a week, but you can't because you've got kids and you're a mom or whatever. Like, who knows, right? What would you like to be able to be doing each week to thrive? Maybe you want to get a massage every week. Maybe you want to get your hair done. Maybe you want to get your nails done. Maybe you want to have somebody help you around the house. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do you need to thrive? Okay, get clear on all of that. Look at what you've got here and then go, what do I really want, right? Because let's get honest, guys, right? The green smoothie lifestyle, let's call it, right? Of all the supplements, of everything you need to thrive. Like, you know, like massive self-care, whether it's going floating every week, whether it's like whatever, like to thrive, to feel amazing all the time, not burnt out and tired and like, oh my God, how am I going to do this, right? How much is that each week, each month, each year? If you are not clear on those 2 things, no wonder you're feeling overwhelmed and like, oh my God, where do I even start on my dreams, right? Because you're not even clear about what you need to thrive and be happy and like to feel good in your body and to have support around the house or whatever it is for you. To have a team that grows your business online so you can do more of the good stuff or whatever. Get clear on that. So important, right? And this is right now. Now with your 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, expand that. Hey Emily, who's seen your pages? Dorothea, yes, it's awesome, right? This is so important to building your dreams, guys. So important. Now that clarity of money around surviving and thriving, look at 12 months. Where do I want to be in 12 months? Well, it would be amazing if I could get a massage every week on top of what I need to be able to survive. Right? Or maybe you want to do more than that. Maybe you want to be at a different level in 12 months time or in 5 years time. Like in 5 years time, will you be cleaning your house? Will you be, maybe it's a lot sooner than that perhaps, like will you be, still doing your own washing, like, or will you still be like trying to figure out the online tech stuff, or will you be thriving by then? Like, look at the expansion, like, will you be traveling every month because you can, like, what sort of income do you need in 5 years time to be able to support that, to fly what economy, to fly, what's it called, private even, right? Like, like what sort of income would you need in 5 years time to be able to support that lifestyle? Remember, people always say money doesn't make you happy, and it's like, well, money actually supports us to feel better in ourselves. Yes, it's a feeling of, being able to do that first, right? And there's so much energetics behind this. But at its core, money gives you a lifestyle. It isn't about making you happy. It's about a lifestyle that you want to live. And I think a lot of people go, I don't need money because, money doesn't make you happy. Well, these are beliefs. These are limiting beliefs that you are holding around money. So no wonder money's not coming in because you don't even love money. You're like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. There's so much to talk about money. But when you look at money, what is it giving you? It's giving you freedom. It's giving you a lifestyle. Imagine being able to jump on a private jet whenever you want and go to the Maldives, or like, maybe that's not what you want to do, right? But it's kind of like, what sort of lifestyle do you want to be living? And in 5 years time, do you still want to be doing this, what you're still doing now, and going, oh, I wish I started that back then? Like, this is the thing, right? So get really clear on the expansion of money, that in, 12 months, 5 years, you could break it down further in 3 months time, in 6 months time, like work with it. Yeah. The more you focus your attention on it, the clearer you get. Money and the universe and everything that supports your life purpose loves clarity. It loves clarity. Yeah. Why? Because then you're energetically clear about your why. You're not like, where do I start? I don't know, right? You've got a plan now, okay? That doesn't mean you have to stick to it to a T, because intuition changes, life purpose changes, everything evolves. But this is where we start, yeah? Now, the other part about it, right, is looking at, well, if in 12 months' time, I don't want to be, like you might be like, well, I don't, there might be things going on where you're like frustrated, angry, tired, because right now, I shouldn't be cleaning my car. Right now, I shouldn't be freaking cleaning my house. I've got work to do. Like, I need to be putting this time into there, right? When I was still in that space, when I would have to clean my house, because we kind of need to look after ourselves, right? When I had to clean my car, I would do it all in a day, right? And I would do all my food prep and everything there. So for the rest of the week, I could do all the jobs I needed to do. At that time, I was still teaching in-person yoga classes. So I'm like, okay, cool, I can do that. And the other hours, I can be working on my dreams. I can be working on understanding the tech, doing the online business stuff, working that, yeah? Now, I knew, and I did that because I knew that in a certain amount of time, I wouldn't be doing it anymore. But if I didn't have that clarity of that plan, I'd probably, number one, not have done it. At the same time, I would have felt more burnt out, more overworked, more exhausted, because there was no end date to me still having to do the things that I didn't want to do. There was no end date to me still having to cook and clean. And I'm like you can feel it in your heart and soul when you're doing something, like, I'm going to use the cleaning example. When you're cleaning, right? And you're like cleaning, but you're like, I need to be doing this thing, right? That's a surefire sign that it's like, you're being called to do purpose work, but you're still doing this thing. Now, sometimes we can do this as an avoidance when we know we need to do the thing, but when we just have to clean because we kind of need to look after our house and whatever, right? I'm just using that example, that there's only a certain amount of time we can leave that to go too long, right? Like when we know that in 12 months time, 2 years time, I won't be doing this because I know that part of my working towards expanding into my dreams and my 10-year vision is that I have a house cleaner twice a week, is that I have someone help me with the food, do you know what I mean? Like, because you know that you can get it done and then you can get back to doing the thing you want to do. Whereas if there's not that plan, there's kind of, you're just like in this overwhelm, like, I don't know how it's ever going to work, right? So these are like really clear steps to be able to start moving forward and getting clear on where do you even start, okay? Now, as I started learning the online tech stuff, so this would be another thing, right? So I was teaching in-person workshops, I was still, working and, doing my other stuff, that I always knew that I was going to go online. Now, I never planned to not teach in person and just solely focus on the online stuff. Over a period of time, that just felt right. I was just like, I was even teaching in-person classes, and I'm like, I don't want to be doing this. I just want to be focusing on the online stuff. Like, all my energy was being called there, and so I trusted that. I made a plan to stop teaching, and about 3 months later, at that Christmas, that December 2016, I stopped teaching all in-person classes and workshops, and I fully focused on Reality Awareness online. Now, I knew and I know in my heart and soul that online and teaching in person will happen again in the future. But right now, I'm being called to build this online stable foundation, and that's where I'm still like working with, right? Until I get the nudge to, and I can feel I'm starting to like, go, oh, maybe there's a yoga space or something here, right? And it's like in this space, I'm kind of like, oh, and then I keep getting pulled back. So I could feel it's coming, and I always knew when I left teaching on like in-person classes, it wouldn't be forever, right? So it's always like trusting that, sometimes we get blocked at doing something because there's, can be both, right? There's no end date, or there's an end date and we're like, whoa, I don't want to do that because what's going to happen after that? The ego, the psyche's like, well, I'm going to die if I stop doing the thing or if I make that goal because there's nothing over there, right? The ego doesn't know that's why it's look at, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the track, because you've got that line and you can meet these goals rather than like, well, I'm never going to meet that one because I don't know what's over there, I might die. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds extreme, but that's like the reality of the psyche thing. So in that space, just checking the list that I've got this here. Okay. So the other part of this, right? And this is where, like, again, looking at, your values, right? So it's like, what are you willing to give up in order to, build your dreams? Now, that might not be the right question because, again, your psyche's like, I don't want to give up anything. I don't want to let go of anything, right? But I guess the better question to ask would be, where does my soul want to be spending the time right now? Yeah, where is my soul guiding me to spend this time right now? Is it by going to these parties or these gatherings or a dinner or, or is it just like, right, for the next 3 months, I'm not doing anything. I'm fully focusing on this. And little side note here, big thing about life purpose, guys, is that if you're studying, so I know there was someone on here before saying that you're still studying your PhD or something and you're almost finished, you can do whatever you like, right? My advice would be to like solely like finish that and complete that, so energetically you're free to birth your purpose. When I before I even had found Colleen's course of Passive Profit Empire, which, by the way, guys, is open now. It's only open for a really short time. So if you really want the foundational building blocks, if you've been watching me the past few days, you would have heard me talking about her 4-day free course. And that's exactly how to get your offer out into the world. PPE, so Passive Profit Empire, is the original course. She's opened it again. She wasn't going to, and then she did. I'm like, yes, because this is the original course that is like everything from online tech to the systems that you need, to all-in-one systems, to how to even film an online course, how to even know what your gift and message is to the world, right? Maybe you know, but how do you word that? How do you talk that to people so that you can create the sales page so that they can click on it and pay you, like all that tech stuff, and how to even word it correctly? Like, how do you even do that? How do you take your message, your passion, and actually like do and put it like how do you do that? How do people click and then they get an automatic email? How, like all of that stuff. PPE, Passive Profit Empire, right? It's open now, but like I said, it's not open for very long. I think it closes, I guess it'd be about 48 hours from now, less than 48 hours from now, right? I'm just gonna put this link in the comments here. Because if you're ready to like really build this, and this is the thing, like, you know, I'm saying like finish, if you're currently studying something, finish, right? When I came across PPE, I was in the middle of writing my chakra book. So if you guys know my story, when I came online, I literally, there we go. Just turn that down. All right, so just pop the link in the comments there for PPE. When I came across PPE, I was literally asking the questions, and I was in the middle of writing the chakra books, right? You guys have seen and heard me talk about the chakra books. We just went through the chakra journey. So we've got like a book for each chakra, and I was literally like planning a workshop, in-person workshops, the last bits of the in-person stuff that I taught, and I'd like plan the date, and then I would write the book to present at the workshop, right? And so, and now, and it was always the plan. It was always the plan to then take each book and turn it into an entire course, each chakra, and turn it into an entire course, which is what I'm doing, yeah? It's Rapid Ascension Awakening. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. You've got bits and pieces out of them, like the past life meditation or the dragon or Meet Your Star Being Guide. Like all of that has channeled through, which wasn't in the original books, by the way. Like as I've been creating online, more has poured through, and that's why I'm like still going through, because it's like more, like these are huge courses that are coming through me, let alone Trust Your Intuition, like all of that, yeah? There's 9 books, so there was 9 workshops over 9 months. It was like 9 books in 10 months, and I was halfway through writing them when I came across PPE, and that, like from the beginning, I was like asking the question, obviously I was asking it to the universe, I didn't even know, I was like, how do people even like, how do, you know, because I was signing up to things, and I was like, how do I sign up and then I get this email, and then I get emails from that person about this, and how do I, when I like bought a little course, and I'm like, how does it work, you know? And I'm like, PPE came into my field, and I was like, and I was up to the solar plexus, so I was halfway, and you know, it was like, you know, opening and then it was closing, and I'm like, and I knew that was my answer, and I bought it, and I didn't open it, yeah? I bought it because it was closing, and I bought it and it sat there for 6 months. Why? And I wanted to open it. I so wanted to open it, but I was like, Hannah, just let it sit there. Don't even touch it until you finish writing the books. And I did. I finished writing the books, and right up to integration. And after I'd finished writing that and held the last workshop, then I opened that little baby that had been sitting there for 6 months, because I knew that this was the next step about turning these into online courses. And hence here I am in my journey of like presenting everything that I do and building what I have online. So now I'm not saying you have to, you know, have done anything before. Like you don't have to have done anything beforehand to be able to create something and build an online business. Like you don't, right? If you're passionate about cooking and like know how amazing you are and you want to share that with the world, like this will support you in putting your message, your flavor on the cooking into the world, right? And so it's really important, like, you know, and I guess I see this with like even myself with that story, and even before I started the workshops, I had 2 other training courses, my level 2 yoga teacher training, and I was also doing the Lightwork practitioner training for the 4th time. So I was like, had those things, and I finished them. I made sure I finished them before I then started this. And then I finished writing the books before I then opened that package of the online course stuff, right? Because with that, it's like energetically, if you've got like, you know, this going and you're still doing your PhD and then you're trying to do this work and this work and this work, for my, I mean, it's possible to do a zillion things at once. Like, it really is. But energetically, when you're wanting to birth your purpose, if you've got PhDs, other courses and everything kind of going on in the background, you still haven't quite finished all these bits, the PhD or the yoga course or whatever it is that you're doing. They're part of what becomes you, that then is a flavor of your unique blueprint, and it all kind of intertwines that then becomes you, right? So it's really important to, you know, like, yes, you can, you know, like I did. I was just like, sign up for PPE because I knew I needed that course. I knew that was my answer. And, you know, and everything is in there. It's Facebook ads, like everything that I've done online, I've learnt myself. Now, this is the other little part of it, right? Some people don't want to learn the tech side of it. Like, and that's totally okay. You don't have to. So instead of like your goal being a house cleaner or a car cleaner or whatever the thing is to help you, it might actually be that you need help with somebody helping to set up funnels, somebody helping to set up your website rather than you doing it yourself. So it's like, again, it's getting clear about what brings you alive, because learning the online tech stuff brought me alive. Like, I wanted to learn about that. You know what I mean? Like, cleaning was like, ugh. Whereas for me, the online tech stuff, that brought me alive. Like, I wanted to be able to create whenever I create. And like I do, I get an idea and I'm like straight on the computer. I'm like putting it out there. Like, I love to be able to do that. Okay. And PPE, Passive Profit Empire, was my answer to that. And forever, I'm so grateful. So I am an affiliate for this program. Of course I am, because this is like, I'm not affiliate for anything else in my business. Reality Awareness is solely Reality Awareness. I do not have any other network marketing or anything on the side. Like, that's just, I just don't. Like, solely Reality Awareness. The only thing I'm an affiliate for is the platform that enabled me to bring this to you. Well, it's not even the platform, it's the course that I learned all the tech stuff. This is how you can learn the tech stuff and let your creativity flow just like me. Well, whatever, right? So, okay, does anyone have any questions about what we've just gone through? Yeah, or Passive Profit Empire? Please comment them below. There's one last little tidbit that I'm going to give you here, yeah? So, when you're feeling stuck, yeah? When you're feeling stuck, the question to ask yourself is, what do I need to change now, right? So let's say you're saying frustrated with how much work you've got to do around the house, right? It's kind of like, this is going to sound pretty bad, right? But it's a kind of a longer journey than just the little short snippet I'm going to say, in a sense. When, like, I'm a very clean person, apart from when I'm in my creativity flow mess that just goes everywhere. I like things being clean. I like things being spotless. Yeah, like, I've always been that way. Maybe it's controlling, maybe it's over compulsive, whatever the freaking hell. I don't care. I like cleanliness, right? Now, when I had Adaya, she taught me to learn how to let go of control, right? And it was started with something so simple of, like, for me, I would have to do the dishes every single night before I go to bed. Like, it's just like, no matter how late, no matter how tired, like, I have to do the dishes. But when it got to, she was probably, I don't know, 3, 4, or a bit younger than that, probably toddler. And I remember one of my mentors at the time saying, why don't you just not do the dishes tonight and just go to bed because you need rest? And I'm like, what? Right? But something changed in me. And I was like, yeah, the dishes can wait till the morning. And it might sound so silly. I might be like, well, I do that all the time. But for me, it was a really big deal in letting go of control, in letting go of, you know, thinking everything out. You know, it was so much more stress to do them that night than just friggin' just letting go of control and just, it's okay, just go to bed, right? And that was long before I came online, right? And then since then, you know, and when you're looking at like, what can I change now? So if cleaning the house is something that, you know, in 12 months time, you're going to hire a cleaner for and not do that job anymore, you can look at what you're going to let go of now. So if you say, for example, do a full big house clean every week, maybe you can leave it every fortnight. Now, some people might be going, oh my God, Hannah, this is so gross. How did you even do this? Well, for me, I know that in 5 years time, I'm definitely not going to be doing that myself. I'm not even going to have to worry about doing it. Like, and it's happened a lot quicker than 5 years. Actually, it was like, It was 2 years. It was 2 years, right? 2 years, full-time cleaner. Actually, I had someone before that. She was just not coming as regular, actually. So she came once a month, and she came once a fortnight. And now I have my personal assistant who does everything for me, right? Thank you, Ali. Godsend. Love you so much, Angel. Be so lost without you. And then she says, no, you wouldn't be. And I'm like, I feel like I would now. Anyway, so it's like I let things go because I knew it wasn't going to be forever. So for example, if you clean all your shelves, if you wash your windows, if you do all this thing, or maybe you don't, right? But what can you let go of? Like, what are the essentials? Like probably toilet, bathroom, and floors, right? Like everything else, wiping the shelves down, all of that stuff, that can be done every 2 months, like whatever's, like just like let it go. Like where are you still like eek about where you could be spending that time and energy on your purpose? Now, as I said, sometimes it can be like a distraction because we're learning. Remember, when we're learning something new, it's overwhelming. Yeah, it is overwhelming. Yeah, you're learning something new. Your brain is rewiring. Yeah, remember to breathe going through that space of learning something new. So important, right? Now, so what can I change now? What can I let go of now? I don't like using that because it's like, but when you look at things like that, like stop wiping down, like stop cleaning the windows, like it can wait every 3 months, like you don't need to do it every week, like, you know, like whatever it is, like just like what can you let go of? Like I used to have an amazing veggie garden, like I used to love the garden, I used to spend so much time in it, and then like, you know, I had people come over and they're like, where's your garden gone? And I'm like, oh, I've been building my business. Like I literally let everything die. Like it got to a point so bad at one point where the land, like the, you know, the rental agent person's like, oh, you need to pull the weeds out. And I'm like, oh, looking at my garden going, fuck, I haven't even looked at it. Like I was just in this thing of just building online. Like I just let it go. You know what I mean? Because I also know, like, and I've got a gardener, I've got someone who comes to my lawns. I know in the future as well, I'll have a fully amazing landscape garden. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be doing that. That's tiring as well. You spend so much time doing the garden. I just pay someone to do that, right? It's like, where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? What can you let go of now that's going to support that vision in the future, right? So yeah, so what am I needing to let go of now? What needs to change now? Because you'll feel it. You'll feel it in yourself. It'll be like, you'll be like doing this thing and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. Like you'll feel it. Yeah, it'll be like, oh yeah, I can still manage this, you know? And then it's like, yep. And then you'll be like, yeah, okay, what do I need to change? When can I change this? Okay, when you ask when, that gives you something to work towards rather than just going, oh my God, I can't do this. Yeah? Alright, does anybody have any questions at all? The link is in the comments there for Passive Profit Empire if you are serious about building your dreams. Now the other thing as well, you know how I said, you know, do you want to build online or do you want to build in person? Like you can do either, right? Do you want to do, it's not about just doing courses either. If you want one-on-one clients, if you want that one-on-one coaching stuff, this gives you that. Yeah, it gives you the platforms, it gives you the tech, it gives you how to do the advertising, how to even get people in, like, you know, like even if you have no following, you've never started before, like this is like your everything. Yeah, even if you've got a thriving business and you want to like go in this direction or you want to expand, like this is the A to B, the A to Z, I should say. It is everything, whether you've got a following or not. This is where you start, right? So I don't think anybody's got any questions for me, but if you're watching the replay, please type them in the comments and I will come back and answer them. As always, I eventually get to them. Still catching up in even my birthday messages at the moment. So thank you so much, guys. It's felt so much love. It's been so beautiful to receive that. So if you are really wanting to create the life of your dreams, there is not much time to get in for Passive Profit Empire. It's literally less than 48 hours from the time of this video that I'm live right now. So the link is in the comments there. It's also in the comments of the, the title of the live stream, so you can find it there. I will also put a post out about it as I get off this live stream and post one this afternoon, so you can find that as well. Easy. You guys are so welcome. It is time to be able to set yourself free and be able to support yourself and your family in the way that you really want to. And this is not, by the way, I should have said this ages ago, this is not a quick fix. This is not like snap your fingers and it's done. This is not an overnight thing. Like nothing is, right? Unless you win the lotto, Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you want that overnight win, this is not for you. Yeah, it honestly isn't. But if you're willing to stick to creating the life of your dreams for the rest of your life, in a sense of like, are you willing to give up, 12 months, 5 years, 10 years time, like, where do you want to be? Like, this is your avenue to that freedom, to creating a life that you can be able to do what you want, when you want, support your kids and everything that you want to do for yourself as well, and just like live and do your passion, right? So I was just going to say something else then as well. What was that? I don't remember. No, I don't remember. I don't remember. I was going to say something else. I just saw your comments and no, I don't remember. Anyway, so like I said, if you've got any questions and if you think this is rewind. If you think that this can help somebody, please tag their name in the comments or share it with them in a private message. Can forward the email onto them, or you can send them the YouTube link. And remember, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. I love you guys heaps. Here's to freedom. Love you.